We are currently driving out to the Mississinewa battlefield. The Battle of Mississinewa took place during the Battle of 1812, and it's definitely one of those that you don't read about a lot in history books. This is going to be quite an interesting investigation for us. I've been out here a few times when I was younger, but this is our first outdoors investigation. It was here that I got the opportunity to analyze my very first Class A EVP. One of my friends, while we were driving through the woods, said they saw someone running next to the car in full Union uniform. We also heard drumming in the distance that night, which was pretty amazing. But for me personally, my biggest experience out there. While all my friends were hanging out, I parked my car in the little memorial area. And I sat there, and I waited, and I waited, and I waited. And my ADHD kicked in. I began looking at the rearview mirror and tapping on the brake light, just being bored and watching the tree line turn red. Now I did this over and over again, tapping, turning red, over and over. That is until I hit it again, and a figure was standing behind the car. Needless to say, I floored it. I realized that they were all chasing after me, and finally pulled over and let them all get in the car. But that figure, that scared me more than anything. So, will we find anything? I don't know. But we're definitely gonna try.
What happens when we die? What happens to our stories? In the darkness of the forgotten, we seek answers.
You heard that, right?
Yeah.
The Battle of Mississinewa, part of the War of 1812, occurred on December 17th to 18th, 1812, near present-day Marion, Indiana. It was an expedition led by Lieutenant Colonel John B. Campbell against Miami Indian villages, ordered by William Henry Harrison in response to attacks on Fort Wayne and Fort Harrison. Campbell's force of 600 mounted troops aimed to destroy the Miami villages along the Mississinewa River. Locals speak of eerie encounters, phantom drumbeats, shadowy figures, and inexplicable cold spots. Some claim to have glimpsed native warriors forever guarding their ancestral land. But what awaits our team?
There we go. I have them both on. The IR and...
Ah, there you go. That looks good.
Oh, it's taking a video.
That's cool.
I can see the lights.
So, we began our investigation. Brand new to doing outside investigations. We began to walk around and mess with our equipment, try and get a feel for the area and how things are going to work.
Oh, fuck. No, because I can't actually see. I mean, I can see what little bit from this guy. Oh, I definitely would have walked straight into the fucking woods. God. If nothing else, it is creepy back here. So first off, let's look at this guy. What are the rocks are though? Not gonna take him to find out.
As a disclaimer, these are not graves, but memorials to fallen U.S. soldiers. Before we could even begin, something started draining our battery.
I believe I'm already at half a battery.
Really?
Yeah. Something's draining it.
Really?
Yeah, look.
That tree right there.
I don't know, but it's pretty scary. Then I'm gonna get Spirit Talker out.
Spirit Talker is an app that we use that is very similar to an Ovilus device.
And we're gonna... I do have another battery though.
Andrea.
Alright.
There's a Beverly.
Thomas Bedford. Francis.
There are demons.
That's nice. That's Lansing.
Is there anybody here that wants to talk to us? Besides the trees? We're here to listen.
I will take this. And I'm going to set this down. How about Mr. Daniel Watts?
It's Waltz.
Daniel Watts. On your headstone, sir.
I decided to begin calling out the names of the soldiers that were memorialized here.
What else we got? Beverly Brown. James Griffin. James Wright. Thomas Smith.
Courage.
It was at this moment, while talking to Mr. James Wright, that we believe we captured a response.
James Wright. Thomas Smith.
Courage.
One more time, but this time with enhanced vocals.
James Wright. Thomas Smith.
Courage.
Bang.
Courage bang.
The words courage and bang could absolutely correlate to the War of 1812. This area is also known for its battle reenactments and constant cannon fire.
Yeah. That's one thing that happens out here a lot. Cannons and stuff.
Mary.
That's crazy.
My family is here.
Spirit Talker, I've played with it a lot.
My name is Lily.
It is going off. Like, usually it's like silent for a while, then you get one and sound. That is like back to back to back to back.
Yeah. Hi, Lily. Can you tell me about your family? Can you tell me about you? Kind of one bar.
That's crazy.
It's completely fine if you're using my battery. I've got more. Where would you like us to go? I just want to hear your story. I mean no harm. Josh doesn't mean any harm either. Huh. That was weird. So look. I mean, I'm sure it has something to do with a light somewhere. Here, hold it. Okay, maybe it'll do it with me. So like, look up,
Oh, it does.
and it like,
There's almost like a glare.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
As we continue to learn our equipment, we want to make sure that we debunk things. We fully believe in healthy skepticism, and it would come into play with what we caught next. We believe we heard what sounded like a cough somewhere out in the distance. Unfortunately, it could not be captured on audio.
That sounded like someone coughing. Whoa. Dude, whatever you just did, do it again.
We then captured what I believe to be some kind of mist. Here's a much slower shot of it. I only caught a brief glimpse of it in the camera at the time, so I immediately began to try and debunk this using the same method that we just did with Megan seeing the glare.
This side of the screen, like that. It was like that. Something like.
I also tried to debunk this as my breath, as it was cold outside, and you could see my breath. But the camera just wasn't picking that up this entire time. The only way I could get my breath to show up on camera was when I breathed directly at the camera. And even that didn't move or dissipate in the same way. Now, I'm not calling it paranormal, but it is extremely intriguing.
I'm not seeing my breath that much. Jeez.
We're about to get eaten alive. And I will get eaten first because I run slow.
For the next part of our investigation, we attempted to go to the main battlefield. Unfortunately, the wind was so bad that it corrupted almost all of our audio. Among all of the coyote howls that night, one stood out different. One that was more of a scream. It caught our attention immediately.
You heard that, right?
Yeah. That sound like an Indian?
Yeah.
Kind of yelled at you?
Yeah.
Not like a coyote, but more like a yep.
The feeling we got in this area was so hard to describe. We will be back to the battlefield to continue our investigation and hopefully speak to those who lost their lives here. The next day, after hearing the EVP that we caught of what I believe to be James Wright saying present as if being called at roll call, I decided to make my way back out and thank him for his service. And I believe he answered again.
James Wright. James Wright. I believe I heard you last night, sir. If there's anything that you want to say, I have a device running right now that can hear you. Sir, it was an honor to talk to you. And I just would like to tell you, thank you for your service.